What if I told you that clutter isn't just taking up space in your home, but in your mind? After 50, the piles of papers, forgotten drawers, and overstuffed closets aren't just a mess. They're memories, obligations, and decisions we've delayed for years. But here's the truth. Decluttering at this stage in life isn't about tossing everything. It's about honoring what matters now. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the real reasons it feels harder to let go, and the simple mindset shift that can free your space and your spirit. Because after 50, every object you release gives you more room to breathe, focus, and live fully. Let's talk about how to do it without guilt, without overwhelm, and with a sense of peace that lasts. Over the years, we collect everything. Gifts we didn't ask for, clothes that no longer fit, papers from jobs we haven't had in decades. At the time, we hold on to it just in case, or because it meant something once. But eventually, it piles up, quietly, slowly, until it feels like the walls are closing in. You tell yourself you'll deal with it someday, but someday keeps getting pushed back. And before you know it, the clutter isn't just physical, it's emotional. It weighs on your energy, your peace of mind, even your confidence. You're not lazy, you're just overwhelmed. This isn't about minimalism, and it's definitely not about tossing everything you love. It's about approaching decluttering in a way that respects your life, your memories, and your energy. After 50, every item holds a story, and every decision takes a little more thought. That's why you need a smarter, more compassionate approach, one that makes space for what truly supports your life today. In this video, you'll discover 3 powerful mindset shifts and 5 practical, doable steps designed specifically for this stage of life. No guilt, no overwhelm, just real progress. Step 1. Start small and keep it visible. Let's begin with something simple, but powerful. Start small, and start where you can see the change. When we think about decluttering, it's tempting to look at the big picture: garages, basements, whole closets filled with years of someday. But trying to tackle everything at once? That's a recipe for burnout, especially when your energy and focus feel more limited than they used to be. So instead of diving headfirst into the biggest mess, I want you to pick one small space you see every single day. Your nightstand, the kitchen counter, the corner of the dining table that's become a drop zone for unopened mail and random odds and ends. Why does this matter? Because when you can see the change, you feel the progress. And when you feel progress, you gain momentum. Visible spaces give you instant emotional feedback. A clear surface greets you like a deep breath. A tidy drawer feels like a tiny win, something you did for you. Now here's how to do it. Set a timer for 15 minutes. This isn't an all-day project. You're not committing to perfection, you're just committing to starting. When the timer's done, you're done. Clear everything off or out of the space. Yes, everything. If it's your nightstand, take it all off. The books, the lotion bottle, the old receipts. If it's a drawer, empty it onto the table. Sort into 3 quick categories. Keep what you actually use or love. Toss/recycle. Broken pens, expired meds, dead batteries, gone. Give/donate. Items in good shape that no longer serve you. Put only the essentials back, intentionally. Ask yourself, does this belong here? Your nightstand doesn't need 6 books and 3 charging cords. Maybe it just needs a lamp, a book you're currently reading, and a glass of water. Let the rest go, or find it a proper home. Here's why this small step matters more than you think. It builds trust with yourself. It proves that you can do it. And most importantly, it interrupts the pattern of overwhelm that keeps so many of us stuck. If you start with the visible, you'll notice a shift, not just in your space, but in your mindset. Each clear surface becomes a quiet reminder. I'm capable of change. I deserve clarity. I can create calm. And those little reminders, they stack up. They become motivation. They become momentum. They become your new normal. So don't wait for the perfect time to start. Don't wait until you have all day or feel full of energy. Just choose one small, visible space and begin. Because here's the truth. Decluttering doesn't start with your stuff. It starts with your willingness to take back control, one surface, one decision, one quiet victory at a time. Step 2. The 3-second rule. Let's talk about one of the simplest and most surprisingly powerful tools for decluttering, especially after 50. It's called the 3-second rule. Here's how it works. You pick up one item. You give yourself just 3 seconds to answer 2 questions. 1. Do I use this now? 2. Do I love this now? If the answer to both is no, let it go. That's it. No overthinking. No mental gymnastics. No talking yourself into keeping it just in case. 3 seconds. 2 questions. 1 honest decision. Now you might be thinking, but what if I need it later? And that's fair. We've been taught to be prepared, to be resourceful, to save things for rainy days. But let's get real. How many of those rainy day items have been sitting untouched for years? If you haven't used it in the last year, chances are you won't miss it. And if you don't love it, why is it still in your home? Here's the beauty of this rule. It bypasses your inner negotiator, the part of your mind that wants to keep everything, just in case. Instead, it invites you to check in with your present self. Not the version of you from 20 years ago. Not the version you wish you were. Just you now. Let me tell you what happened when I used this on my hallway drawer. You know the one. The drawer that's supposed to hold keys and chargers, but somehow turned into a junk drawer war zone. I reached in, pulled out an old flip phone. 3 seconds. Do I use this now? No. Do I love this now? Definitely not. Gone. Next, a broken pair of reading glasses with one arm missing. Gone. An instruction manual for a coffee maker I no longer own. Gone. Mini hook. And then I found something unexpected. A birthday card from my dad from over 15 years ago. It said, "Proud of you always. Keep going." That one I kept. Not because I needed the card, but because I loved the feeling it gave me. And that's the point. The 3-second rule isn't about throwing everything away. It's about cutting through the noise. It's about making decisions faster and with more clarity, so you don't burn out or get stuck in a spiral of indecision. Because let's face it, at this stage in life, our energy is too precious to waste on clutter we don't care about. And every second spent holding on to the past is a second we're not fully living in the present. So, here's your challenge. Go to one drawer. Pick up one item at a time. 3 seconds. 2 questions. Be honest. Let go. And remember this. You're not letting go of who you are. You're letting go of what you no longer need. So who you are today can breathe, move, and thrive. This isn't about rushing. It's about clarity. One item at a time. 3 seconds at a time. And before you know it, the space around you and inside you starts to feel lighter. That's the power of a simple rule and the beginning of a deeper transformation. Step 3. Don't start with sentimental items. Here's something most decluttering advice gets wrong, especially for those of us in the second half of life. They tell you to start with what's hardest. The boxes of old photos. The drawer of birthday cards from loved ones. The shelf with your children's school projects. But let me tell you from experience, that's the fastest way to stall your progress. Why? Because sentimental items are not just things. They're tied to people we've loved, places we've left behind, and versions of ourselves we've grown through. Decluttering them too soon can leave you feeling stuck, sad, or even guilty. So here's the advice I wish more people gave, especially after 50. Don't start with the sentimental. Save those items for later, when your decluttering muscle is stronger. Think of decluttering like exercise. You wouldn't walk into a gym for the first time and try to bench press 200 pounds. You'd start small, build strength, and gain confidence with each rep. The same goes for sorting through emotional keepsakes. When you've already built momentum, when you've seen progress in the kitchen, the hallway, the closet, you'll feel more grounded and capable to handle the emotional layers that come with sentimental items. Let me tell you a story. A woman in our community, let's call her Linda, started decluttering her home after retiring. She made great progress with everyday items. But then, one morning, she decided to tackle the boxes of photo albums in the attic. Within 10 minutes, she was surrounded by memories, crying in overwhelm, and questioning why she started in the first place. She didn't touch another box for 6 months. It wasn't because she wasn't capable. It's because she tried to carry emotional weight before building emotional strength. So if you've been avoiding decluttering because you can't bear the thought of going through your late mother's belongings, or your children's artwork, or love letters from decades past, here's your permission. Don't start there. You're not being weak. You're being wise. Now, this doesn't mean you'll never get to those items. It means you're saving them for a time when you've proven to yourself that you can let go. You've seen the benefits of having more space. You've learned to separate the memory from the object. When that time comes, you'll be more emotionally prepared to make those decisions. And more importantly, to make them without regret. Because here's the truth. Letting go of an object doesn't mean letting go of the person, or the love, or the memory. It means you're choosing to keep the memory in your heart, not in a dusty bin in the back of a closet. So for now, skip the photo albums. Leave the sentimental boxes alone. Start with the easy stuff. Build strength. And when the time comes, you'll be ready. Stronger, clearer, kinder to yourself. Because decluttering after 50 isn't just about clearing shelves. It's about honoring your life and pacing yourself through the parts that matter most. Step 4. Create a Let Go with Purpose box. Letting go can be hard, especially after 50. Not because we're overly attached to stuff, but because so many of our belongings have stories attached. They remind us of people we love, places we've been, and roles we've played in different chapters of life. So when we try to declutter, it can feel like we're giving away parts of ourselves. And that's where many of us get stuck. But here's a shift that can make all the difference. Don't just give things away. Give with purpose. Instead of calling it a donation bin, try this. Create a box labeled Give with Love, or even Let Go with Purpose. Because it's easier to part with something when you know it's going to someone who needs it, someone who'll appreciate it, use it, or even cherish it in a way you no longer do. That sweater you haven't worn in years? It might keep someone else warm this winter. The extra dishes you never use? They might be perfect for a young couple just starting out. The book you loved but won't read again? It could spark inspiration in someone else's life. Letting go becomes easier when it becomes an act of generosity. Think of it like this. You're not throwing things away. You're passing them forward. You're sending your items out into the world, where they can serve someone else, not collect dust in your drawer. This mindset shift isn't just about decluttering. It's about reframing the experience so it feels meaningful, not painful. Let me share a quick story. A viewer named Carol once told me she had a beautiful set of china that had belonged to her grandmother, but it had been sitting in the back of a cabinet for years. She never used it, and neither did her children. She couldn't bear to just get rid of it. So she boxed it up carefully, wrote a note about its history, and donated it to a local organization that helps women start over after domestic violence. She said, "It felt like my grandmother's memory was doing something good in the world, not sitting forgotten in a cupboard." That's what it means to let go with purpose. Here's how to get started. Find a simple box or basket. Keep it in a visible spot, maybe in your closet, entryway, or hallway, somewhere easy to reach. Label it clearly. Give with love, or let go with purpose. This subtle change in language creates an emotional shift. As you declutter, ask yourself, would someone else find joy in this? Is this still serving me, or is it time to pass it on? If the answer points toward letting go, gently place it in the box. When the box is full, choose where to take it. You can donate to local shelters, senior centers, churches, or community thrift stores. Some people even offer items for free online, or gift them to friends or neighbors who truly need them. Bonus tip, keep the box ongoing. You don't have to wait until you're decluttering a whole room. If you come across something you're ready to release, drop it in. Over time, you'll see that letting go isn't a one-time event, it becomes a lifestyle. And here's the most beautiful part. As you fill that box, you're not just creating more space in your home. You're creating more space in your heart, more room for peace, more clarity, and more freedom to focus on what really matters at this stage of life. So go ahead, start your Let Go with Purpose box. Watch how it transforms the way you declutter. And remember, every item you release with intention becomes a quiet act of love, both for yourself and for someone else. Step 5. Set a 15-minute timer. Here's a powerful truth most people overlook. When it comes to decluttering, especially after 50, you don't need an entire afternoon. You don't need to wait for the right day, or a sudden burst of energy, or to feel perfectly motivated. All you need is 15 minutes. That's it. Set a timer. Give yourself a short, focused window. And when it dings, you're done. No guilt, no pressure, just progress. Why does this work so well, especially later in life? Because our time and energy feel different now. We have more responsibilities in some areas and fewer in others. But what most of us don't have is the desire to spend hours sorting through drawers and bins. And the good news? You don't have to. 15 minutes is long enough to create real change. and short enough to not feel overwhelming. Let me walk you through how to make this work. Choose a space. Just one. A drawer, a corner of a shelf, a stack of mail. Don't go big. Go doable. Grab a timer, your phone, a kitchen timer, anything. Set it for 15 minutes. Not 30. Not an hour. Just 15. Start decluttering quickly and simply. No deep thinking. No emotional spirals. Just action. Keep what you use. Let go of what you don't. When the timer dings, you stop. Even if you're in the middle of something, stop. Why? Because the goal is to build a habit, not to burn out, not to chase perfection. Here's the magic. Those 15-minute sessions start to stack up. One drawer today, a shelf tomorrow, a cabinet by the weekend. In a week, your space starts to breathe. In a month, your home feels noticeably lighter. In a year, you look around and realize you've transformed your space and your mindset 15 minutes at a time. Let me share a story. A man named Harold emailed me after trying this technique. He was 67 and had been putting off cleaning out his garage for over a decade. He said, "I told myself I'd do it when I had a full day to really tackle it. That day never came." Then he tried the 15-minute timer. First, he sorted one shelf. The next day, just a box of tools. In 6 weeks, he had cleared half the garage without ever spending more than 15 minutes at a time. He said, "It wasn't about the garage. It was about proving to myself that I wasn't stuck anymore." And that's what this step is really about. Not the space you clear, but the belief you rebuild, that you can still move forward. That small steps count. That progress, not perfection, is enough. Because here's something no one tells you. Perfection is paralyzing. It keeps us waiting. It convinces us we're failing if things aren't just right. But progress? Progress gives us life. 15 minutes of effort is enough too. Declutter a small drawer. Clear off your nightstand. Toss expired food from the pantry. Let go of 5 things from your closet. Small things, big impact. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, unmotivated, or unsure where to start, remember this. You don't need to fix it all. You just need 15 minutes. Set the timer. Take the step. And when the bell rings, give yourself credit because you showed up. That's how change begins. Not in huge leaps, but in short, steady, doable moments of action. So go ahead, set the timer. Start small, and watch what happens when consistency becomes your superpower. I used to hold on to my old planner from 1998. Its pages packed with appointments, to-dos, and goals I never quite reached. For years, I kept it tucked away, thinking it preserved some part of who I used to be. But one day, I flipped through it and felt something different. Not nostalgia, but distance. I realized, I'm no longer that version of me. And that's okay. That planner belonged to someone learning, growing, trying their best, and I've carried her lessons with me. Letting go didn't mean erasing the past. It meant honoring it, while making space for who I've become today. This is what my entry table looked like before. A few scattered papers, an old keychain, a pile of unopened mail. Nothing dramatic. It may look like just a cluttered surface to you, but to me, it was the quiet weight of 20 years, decisions delayed, memories I wasn't ready to face, and things I held on to just in case. Letting it go wasn't about tidying up. It was about finally choosing peace over pressure. Now, every time I walk by, I don't see a mess. I feel lighter. Because sometimes, clearing a surface clears something inside you too. What's one thing you've held on to that you're finally ready to release? A sweater? An old letter? A box of someday plans? Tell me in the comments. I read every one. And I might feature your story in an upcoming video. And if this gave you even the smallest nudge to start, if you paused, reflected, or let go of just one thing, tap that like button and subscribe for more gentle, simple wins after 60.